I finally hit something here and here, and the whole run.
Okay, cool. All right. We'll share links and stuff.
It was about 5:30 in the morning. I was awake on my computer, working on a video, and checked my emails. One got my attention from Cass. Its title said, "Time sensitive. Can you help a sailor approaching Mindelo?" Huh. It read, "I'm a long-time follower of your channel. I have a favor to ask of you. A mission that I imagine might also make an interesting episode for your channel." Well, Cass knew how to hit my buttons there. It went on. "My friend Peter Gibbons-Neff is currently competing in a mini-transat, a solo transatlantic race from France to Guadeloupe in 6.5-meter racing yachts. He has broken one of his rudders and is planning to make a pit stop in Mindelo to fix it," she went on. "The issue is that the rules of the race only allow competitors to stop for a maximum of 72 hours, and they can only use SATCOM for emergency communications with race management. So although they have told us that his rudder is broken, we don't know exactly what he needs to fix it. So ideally, it would help to communicate with Peter via VHF when he is within range to find out what he needs so it can be procured before he hits land and the countdown starts. What do you think? Would you be willing to try to contact him via VHF from Galopin or from high ground overlooking the approach to Mindelo from the northeast? And then relay messages to and from his shore manager via WhatsApp? Her name is Jane. She is currently in Washington, D.C. Well, the higher ground idea was a bit out of reach for me, but I ran on. The most recent update at 2200 hours on 3rd of November showed him 60 miles from Mindelo, traveling at 5.7 knots. You can follow his progress on the race tracker at minitransat website. His boat is in a series class and is called Terminal Leave. I did see his boat on the race tracking page, several hours to go. Nothing I could do at the moment. Life was still asleep here. I responded that I could see Peter on the tracking page and gave Cass the number of the best boat technician on the island, Gilson. He should be awake in a couple of hours, so contact him. He speaks great English and French. Me, I went back to sleep. When I got up about 9:30, I got several messages on WhatsApp from Cass and Jane, Peter's girlfriend. Peter was in Mindelo Bay, and as I went out for a look, there he was getting a tow into Marina Mindelo. I took this picture and immediately sent it to Jane. Then I rushed over to meet the sailor in need. His people had been in touch with Gilson, and he was on his way over. I let him borrow my phone so he could speak to his girlfriend.
So all 8 of these bolts, all sheared off. Keep in mind, this was all installed brand new in August. Professionally installed in August back in France. So this is what saved the rudder from getting
held on to it. Yeah.
Held on to it. So I'm still going like 12 knots downwind as this is going dragging behind me. I gotta get the sails down before I can even get back there. I mean, I was hauling out, so I was going like...
Show me again. Yeah. I'm gonna document this on the video.
While we were waiting for Gilson, I got a chance to get a few words with Peter.
So at that point, I was about 300 miles north of Cape Verde, and I basically decided, okay, I need to go ahead and get this rudder replaced. I'm not going to sail across the ocean another 2,000 miles to go with no rudder, with just one rudder. So it's the perfect wind angle, 270 miles down to Cape Verde. So I start heading down here, find this place. Where are we even at? It's Porto Grande.
We're in Mindelo on the island of São Vicente.
There we go. This is my first time here. I just looked at the chart, and luckily I had a pilot book to figure out, okay, there's a couple different marinas. And this one looked like the best ones, and it was the farthest west also.
Oh, it's the only one, man.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, because I had no idea where to go. So thankfully I found this place. I came in here last night, and it was tough because...
Last night? Came in here this morning?
No, this morning. Well, as I approached last night,
yeah.
I had to switch from starboard tack to port tack, and, or whichever tack. And so basically I had to steer with the weather rudder in, so anytime the boat heeled over, the boat would wipe out.
Oh, no shit. Right. Okay,
and it was blowing 26 to 28 knots at this point. So it was...
we know that channel.
Yeah.
We know what it's like in between there, yeah.
But as the sun started coming up, I approached the islands. I could see both these islands here, and it was beautiful coming in.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's stunning, huh?
Beautiful, but breezy and big waves again.
Oh, yeah.
So as I'm coming in here, trying to not go too fast, I was hitting over 10 knots surfing down waves when I'm trying not to break the other rudder that I have on the boat. So I finally come in at about, I think I came into the marina at about 10 o'clock initially, and dropped anchor because I was trying to get in the radio, trying to get a tow in. I couldn't get a tow in, so I dropped anchor. Luckily that was fine. So one of the other boats on anchor drove me in here with their little rib. and then the marina helped tow my boat in. So that's where we're here. And then Alex, you were kind enough to call, waving as I'm driving by, saying, "Hey, Jane's on the phone," which Jane is my girlfriend. And also, we have no cell phones out here, so we have no satellite communication, so I can't talk to any family or tell them what's really going on. Yeah. So with your help, you were the first person that I could talk to actually get the word out of what's going on, what's the matter, everything's okay with me. And now we're getting the rudder repaired.
By Jilson.
Jilson, yeah, thank you, sorry. Nice to meet you. How's it going? Yeah, you like that? It's like the tiller bar too.
Jilson, you got to do a good job because you're going to be on this episode. Yeah, I know you'll do a good job.
But I clearly hit something here and here. And so many names I'm learning right now. I'm trying to get
that's all right, man.
No, I'm also not very with it right now mentally. I'm just tired and exhausted. But because this is day 7 now, I think that I've been out here. So
with the speed that you're going, they get pretty fast.
I know. I was going up to 16 knots with 16 knots.
16, man. That's crazy.
Reef in the spinnaker, reef in the jib, 2 reefs in the main.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jilson, him and his team are going to repair the rudder and get those bolts out and put new bolts in. I have a spare tiller bar, so we're going to put that on because that one bent. But yeah, we're going to get out of here as soon as possible. And the big thing is for the rules. If you do a stopover, you have to stay at least 12 hours, but you can't stay more than 72 hours. So from the time you pull in, it's 12 hours to 72 hours. So that's the clock that I'm focused on right now. So if I leave within 72 hours, I can continue doing the race.
Cool. Your objective now is finish the race.
Yes, finish the race.
Don't look over your shoulder. Don't ever look back. No use for second opinions. Don't want to stay in the past.
Well, a few hours later, Peter was all set to go.
And some time later.
How's it going?
Good, and you?
Good. Rudder's back in the boat.
He just had to wait the required 12 hours before setting out to cross the Atlantic in his 6.5-meter speedster.
Well, it is fixed, yeah. So we're all good.
So you're going back tonight? Tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
You finish your 12 hours?
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
Okay. Be nice weather to start again.
The more miles I do now, the closer I get to the finish line.
That's true.
I let him use my phone one last time to speak to his darling, and I tried my best to convince him to have a beer for the track with me and my friend's bar. But Peter was on a mission. He told me he was a Marine, a reserve. I could only respect his dedication and gave him a few suggestions how to best sail out of here, gave him a big hug, and wished him fair winds. I followed his progress the following days. He made up time and was in the race. He, of course, did not win, but he did finish, and not last. What a sailor. Lots of respect, Peter. I'll be watching you in the future. I think it's a bright one for you. Meanwhile, it was back to daily life here on board Galopin. I barely thought about my surgery, so once again I must give credit to my surgeon for forgetting about his work. And I got to work myself. I've been thinking about my carburetor on my dinghy engine. I was watching the last video I did and I was like, no, this is jerry-rig. I gotta do something right. I looked around through all my stuff here, some of the stuff that I've had forever, some glues, a drawer of stuff, and I went through it, and guess what? I found something very interesting called Reinsosil. So I looked this up online, and it's a gasket in a tube, resistant to temperatures, high temperatures, and vibrations. So the tube is full. I'm gonna use that. I tried to remove the bolt in there, and I'm afraid to strip it worse. So I'm going for the glue. The nut seems to hold. We're gonna do that. All right, I'm gonna have to do this with 2 hands. I can't be filming and... Oh, fuck. God damn it. One of my wrenches fell in the water. Water's not that clear. I don't know if I'll find it. Oh, so annoying. Is it easier to dive and go get it or just to buy a new one? It's probably the one I'll need too. Ah, oh, so annoying. Living aboard isn't for everyone. You gotta like and appreciate the fact that you gotta conserve water. You gotta get your water from a source, bring it over to the boat, or hook up to a marina. Marinas are expensive, and Here in Cape Verde, there's only one marina, and it happens to be expensive for short stays, at least on my budget. But the advantage there is you can hook up to water and electricity. Here I rely on my solar panel and either friends who help or me that goes and fetches water in these jerry cans. Right now I'm refilling. Living aboard is worth every hassle because, you know, there are some pretty cool perks, pretty cool advantage to living aboard, having to work a little harder, like this harbor view. Every morning it changes right here. I'm rocked like a baby most of the time. Sometimes there's a little more rock and roll when there's about 30 knots of wind, but it's worth it. And when you've been stationary like me, you gotta turn over your engine once in a while, let it run for an hour or so. Keep the batteries charged. I hoist my dinghy up on the davit every night. Helps keep it from too much algae growing, and you know, it's hard for people to try to climb aboard and rob me or rob my dinghy this way. But anyways, no, the main reason I do it is to keep the growth from growing by pulling it out of the water. Yes, I'll get around to changing my Swiss flag. Still waiting for my boom. I'm also gonna one-up on my dinghy engine. I noticed the fuel hose was starting to fall apart, so I bought some new fuel hose. It also did not have a fuel filter, so I got a little fuel filter and a couple collars to put it in securely, so I'm gonna do that now. It's yacht season here in Cape Verde. Here's one of those big, super mega yachts. It's not that big, but it's definitely big and probably expensive, and probably gonna cross to the Caribbean by some crew. Again, check this out, man. Life here as a liveaboard, private, endless swimming pool, beautiful views, activity always. Well, looks like we've got a nice little renovated fuel system. I think it'll help the little mini Simone here. Okay, let's give it a try, a little gas. Hear that? It's idling nicely. Cool. All right. Pretty happy with this. I generally let the engine run until it reaches its top temperatures and keep an eye out that it stays there. Here it indicates about 70 degrees. That's the correct temperature for our little Simone, the engine. I think now I'm just gonna turn it off, let it rest, and I've got another chore to do as a liveaboard. Get fuel for my dinghy engine and gas, cooking gas. Yeah, where do you think that comes from? Well, I'll show you. Hey, thanks for watching. These are our studios on Gallipon. You know, it's the good people on Patreon who are making this happen and keeping us afloat. Hope you'll join our community. We've got a lot of cool extra perks like live updates, news, photos, videos that I've taken. And I've even taken a stab at writing some short stories, which are not for general audiences on YouTube. Plus, our friend and patron, Graham, started a WhatsApp chat aptly called Gallipon's Cockpit. There we can talk about just about anything we want, uncensored. People from all over have joined. And it's this community that's contributing to this Living Adventure series. Woo, it's kind of windy here. Or you can watch for free on YouTube, but make sure you put a like or dislike, make a comment, and make your voice heard. And definitely subscribe. So thanks for coming along and sailing with us on our winded voyage.